My name is Daniel, and I have been counting down the days to a peaceful vacation for months. The thought of stepping away from work and escaping the constant grind of adult life felt like the break I desperately needed. But that dream shattered in an instant when my phone rang, and my sister's trembling voice came through. "Daniel, Mom's dying. You need to come home. Now." I didn't even think twice. I canceled my trip, threw some clothes into a bag, and caught the first flight back. The whole way there, my mind wouldn't stop spinning. Visions of hospital rooms for drips and the rhythmic beeping of monitors filled my head. I tried to calm myself by remembering how fortunate I'd been to have my mother all these years, promising silently that I wouldn't waste a single moment of whatever time was left. When I finally reached home, something felt off immediately. The house was quiet, too quiet. No ambulance outside, no hurried doctors or nurses, not even a sound of crying, just an unsettling stillness. My chest tightened as I stepped inside. "Mom!" I called out, my voice echoing. "I'm home." There was a faint sound from the living room, a small shuffle, like someone moving carefully. My heart thudded hard against my ribs as I turned the corner. But instead of my mother, I found 3 small children sitting stiffly on the couch. None of them could have been older than 8. Their faces were pale, eyes wide and fearful. I froze. Who are you?" I asked, my voice barely steady. The oldest, a girl with tangled hair and trembling hands, looked at me and whispered, "Mom said you come, but she's gone." My stomach dropped. I scanned the room, desperate for answers. The house was modest but neat. Children's drawings taped the walls, toys scattered near the coffee table, and a faint scent of leftovers lingering in the air. Someone had been caring for these kids, at least for a while, but now they were alone. And my mother, she was nowhere to be found. I immediately called 911. While waiting for the police, I sat with the children, trying to calm them down. I learned their names, Lily, Max, and Sophie. They were scared, hungry, and uncertain, but surprisingly quiet. Piece by piece, their story came out. Their mother, a friend of my sister's, had been staying with my mom for weeks. 2 days ago, she left suddenly, telling them not to leave the house and that help would come soon. When the authorities arrived, the reality hit me like a punch. This wasn't misunderstanding or coincidence. It was a crisis, and those kids needed someone to step up. I promised them right then that I wasn't going anywhere, that they were safe now. Their small hands clung to mine, and something inside me shifted. The following days were a blur of hospitals, paperwork, and social workers. Between calls and meetings, I cooked for the kids, helped them wash up, and tried to keep them smiling. They were cautious at first, watching me with guarded eyes. But slowly, things began to change. Lily would show me her crayon drawings. Max would talk for hours about dinosaurs. And little Sophie would only fall asleep after I told her a bedtime story. I realized then that I hadn't come home to say goodbye. I'd come home to take on a new kind of responsibility, to be a protector, a steady place for 3 lost hearts. It was exhausting, yes, the sleepless nights, the endless forms, the emotional strain. But watching them start to laugh again, seeing their fear turn to trust, was worth every second. In those quiet evenings, I learned something that will stay with me forever. Family isn't always about blood. It's about who shows up when everything falls apart. 2 weeks later, social services worked out an arrangement that allowed me to stay closely involved with the kids while guardianship was being sorted out. They were safe, slowly healing, and finally smiling again. I never got the goodbye with my mother that I had imagined. But I realized that life had handed me a different kind of farewell, a chance to save someone else. I had rushed home for a dying loved one. But in the end, I found a reason to live for something far greater. Through that unexpected twist of fate, I discovered strength I didn't know I had, and a love that would change all our lives forever. Sometimes, the family you expect to protect isn't the one that needs you most. And sometimes, that act of protection ends up saving you, too.